Welcome back to Pray TV. We're just so glad that you're here with us again today. And as our special guest, this day, we have a very good friend of mine, Steve Baldwin. Steve, thank you for being with us here today on Pray TV.
Well, thank you, Brandt. Thanks for having me. I've been looking forward to this.
Well, I just really want to have a little bit of an opportunity to converse with you, actually so that other people can hear and be a part of this conversation about the exciting things that God has been calling you into, and your family, in regard to being able to be what I would consider a real answer to my prayers of the last at least 9 years of praying daily for the raising up of the Media Missionaries. And so, Steve, perhaps you could just give a little bit of your background, what you've been doing even at Gordon College and teaching the media, and then how God is actually calling you into the missions work.
Yeah, I was a Gordon College graduate. I had studied biblical and theological studies there, youth ministry, and got a minor in missions. You would have thought that that was enough of a clue that I was going to perhaps end up in some form of ministry or missions down the road, but it's taken me 20 years to figure out how to best go about that. In the interim, I had gone off and gotten a degree in performing arts education, or you would understand that to be theater most likely. Got my master's in theater. I have been teaching at Gordon College in their media production area for a while, and about the turn of the century, after doing a lot of theater, determined that it was time to start doing film. Why? Because it's really hard to get people to go to theater these days. I felt that as a storyteller, people were not coming out to local theaters to see new plays. But if you had the ability to create a video, you could put that into the hands of people with the DVD or send that around to film festivals. People were actually watching it, and what that meant was we actually had an audience. And that's a good thing. So I transitioned into that back in about 2000.
Well, Steve, it is exciting what has been happening in your life, but I've really seen and sensed, now this is just my own perception here, but I've really seen and sensed how God has been uniquely moving you more and more into His heart and closer in your relationship and your walk with Him. You know, I don't know whether you want to share that. I don't want to be putting you on the spot, but I just thought perhaps you might be willing to share a little bit about that too.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good part of the story. So here I was in 2000 making the transition from theater into film and thinking, wouldn't it be great if I could be the next Steven Spielberg? And I had Hollywood kind of flashing through my eyes thinking, here I am off to go do that. But God had a different plan for me. And what I soon ended up doing was forming my own video production company, doing a fair amount of work for Christian nonprofit organizations such as World Vision. And they were taking me overseas with my camera. I was going to places like the Dominican Republic and Uganda and Zambia and Africa. And there among the poor, I was shooting video to help them raise awareness and raise funds for people in impoverished conditions. And God was using that to break my heart. So the next thing you know, I'm not thinking about making Hollywood films at all. I'm thinking, how can I go spend more time with the poor in Africa or in Asia and help them? And so God was basically using that to break my heart.
Well, the Lord has been breaking all of our hearts as He's been preparing us for what many of us really believe is a great outpouring of His Spirit that we're going to see and be literally a part of. And we believe that there's going to be a mighty revival that God is going to send to the earth once again. And as I've been praying about it, I've just seen that I honestly believe it's going to take a very different form, and that there are going to be many other people who are going to be participating via the media because of the internet and the way that things are now accessible. They were not accessible except through large corporations and groups of people back when I began rocking and rolling in the 70s with video production and those kinds of things. But perhaps you could just share a little bit about what you see as happening with the technology and the exciting things that the Lord is preparing.
Oh, yeah, I think it's incredible, the fact that you could take a video camera, throw it in a carry-on piece of luggage with your laptop and fly all the way to Asia and you can be editing that video on the plane on the way back. I mean, we live in an unprecedented time where these sort of things are possible.
I love to tell the story of unseen things above, of Jesus and His glory, of Jesus and His love, and nothing else can do, 'cause I know it's true. I love to tell the story, it'll be my theme in glory. I want to tell the world of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story, it'll be my theme in glory. Some have never heard of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story, it's pleasant to repeat. It seems each time I tell it more wonderfully sweet, and nothing else can do, 'cause I know it's true. I love to tell the story, it'll be my theme in glory. I want to tell the world of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story, it'll be my theme in glory. Some have never heard of Jesus and His love. When I stand in glory and see Him face to face, I'll sing the only story of His amazing grace. I love to tell the story, I love to tell the story, it'll be my theme in glory. I want to tell the world of Jesus and His love. I love to tell the story, it'll be my theme in glory. Some have never heard of Jesus and His love. Of His love.
What's more, there are people that are gaining information online, questions that are being answered to them about Christianity, that Muslims could be looking that information up on websites. They have unprecedented access to the Bible, which we know has been transforming lives for 4,000 years as it has been written. And it's just an amazing thing how that's going on. This organization for whom we're going to work is based in Perth, Australia, and they basically are taking technology and using that in the advancement of the gospel to places that otherwise these people would not hear about it.
You know, one of the things that I really would like for our viewers to be able to see is some of the things that you have prepared, even as a little bit of a story about the things of your family and that. And so I'm just wondering if you could just take a moment and kind of introduce a little bit, and then we'll kind of roll it so that people can see and be a little more informed.
Well, when we determined that we were going to head off to the mission field and do frontier missions work, we wanted to be able to demonstrate a little bit of what we were going to do, which is video production. I like to tell my friends when they ask me, well, what are you going to do? Well, I'm going to make foreign language films for Jesus, about Jesus. And what better way to tell people about what we were doing than video? So here I am today with the producer Brandt Gillespie for Pray TV talking about it. But we've also made our own video, which I think, Brandt, you're going to roll here. And this is, we call this Our Path to Perth. And this is basically a short video talking about our plans.
All right, let's go ahead and roll it right now.